Hello, friends. Good morning. Happy to welcome you all to a new episode of The Mind Maverick by Rosalind Bosco. After watching some of my videos that I have posted on YouTube recently, some of you might be tempted to think that I have something against men or I have an imbalanced view about women, which is not the case, my dear friends. So, if you have such an opinion, please listen to my logic or discussion or my debate on this topic today. So, I think you would agree with me that girls are raised more as heart-centered people and men are raised in the society as the breadwinners or the bread earners of their families. These are the respective roles that men and women are raised up for, at least in recent times. So, with the evolution of consciousness among men and women on this planet these days, let us see whether this will be workable or there are certain things that we will have to keep in mind while having these rigid set of rules for boys and girls. So, having said this, girls are always raised up to believe that they will be taken care of by somebody throughout their lives. At least that is the mindset that we have in our country predominantly. And boys are raised up with the belief that they are invincible and they cannot afford to give in to any kind of pressure or whatever happens to them during their lives. So this leads to frustration both among men and women. Now, when I speak about a heart-centered approach, my dear friends, that would mean that when a man in the house faces some kind of adversity, maybe a loss of a job or some other adversity which might affect the whole family, so then would it not be advisable for the woman of the house to take up the responsibility of taking care of the household, at least until the man is able to get back on his feet and support both himself and his family? And if the woman is not able to do this, then the whole family would be caught up in a very difficult situation. So this is what I would call a kind of a compromise between the rigid roles that have been set out for both men and women. And the same would be the case of a man when a woman struggles with multifold tasks of looking after both the household and her work at office. If the man is able to take care of the needs of the kids and lends a helping hand now and then the woman would be perfectly happy to take care of the house as well as her official work. Now, Now, why do I need to say this now? Because of the changing consciousness among men and women in general, there is a lot of frustration rising on both sides and incompatibility among couples because of these rigid ways of bringing up boys and girls. So, girls are led to believe that they will always have to depend on somebody else, and boys are led to believe that they are invincible and they will never have to rely on anybody else. Today, my suggestion to you, my dear friends, is not to have such rigid views while bringing up your children. Please raise up your girl child to believe that whatever is the case, she has to be independent and she has to be strong and she has to take care of herself and her family under all circumstances. And also raise the male child to believe that he has to help out with his wife in taking care of her responsibilities and sharing her responsibilities if she goes to work, and lend out a helping hand. And in case of adversity, if he faces a loss, if he loses his job, or if he faces adverse health situations, he could always rely on his other half, better half, for support. In that way, friends, when the kids are raised in such a situation to believe in themselves and to be perfectly confident about themselves under all circumstances, then it would really make life much easier when they enter into a marriage agreement, so that one will not have too much expectations on the other. The girls will not be led to believe or completely depend on the male 100%, and can also rise up to the occasion when there is a need for supporting the family, as well as the men, to give a helping hand or a hand of support to their wives, and also not minding the fact that sometimes the woman might also be the sole breadwinner of the family or help out partially in supporting the family. And there are no unequal expectations. So this is very, very important as we are progressing into the evolution of consciousness, just like people have risen from slavery and people have risen from unfavorable caste system and other injustices meted out to them. Women are also rising up to fulfill their roles in the society as well as in the household. So, when there is a union of the heart as well as the mind among both men and women, then the society would rise up to be a better place for all of us to live in. Thank you for listening to me. If you would like to know more about my ideas, please read my books, The Brimstone Fallacy and God Has Our Backs, or which are available on Amazon.com and Amazon.in. Thank you.